We have IEC Sen IV Clan King of Thrace. This is max money, so 100k. No rules. He's playing as Armenia. Looks like he's got about 4 cataphracts there, 6 legionnaires, 6 Armenian infantry. He's got 6 cataphracts actually. They're actually HA, so he's going to lack the mace attack, but they're still going to have pretty good armor. Okay, melee stats, and of course it will have the ranged attack. Fully upgraded, I presume it'd be a bit of a waste if he didn't fully upgrade it with max cash. His opponent is SHK, or Sheik. Fully upgraded Praetorians, some Triarii there, more Triarii, Legionary first cohort, Urban cohort, more Legionary first cohort, Archer Auxiliarii, I think maybe I counted 1 Urban amongst that. 1 Urban cohort here, another one here, another one. So I think he's got 4 or 5 in total. Basically with max cash you just get as many Urbans as you can and maybe 3 or 4 Praetorian cohort. That's pretty much going to be effective against any army because the game's imbalanced. The higher the cash, the more Rome gets an advantage. Unless your opponent spams cataphracts and maybe he can pick you off one by one, but even then it's difficult because of the numbers and the stats of the urban cohort. And the pillar, which is a pivotal weapon in the battle. Legionary first cohort looks deceptive because it's about the same cost and you get more men but less stats, so they actually lose 1 for 1 against the urbans. It's an extra 2 urban cohort he could have got here with the Archer Auxilia space. They'll be okay against the Armenian infantry if he concentrates the fire, but still it's going to give you more bang for a buck getting the heavy infantry. So 9 flags of upgrade on every unit. 2 gold sword, gold defense, and 3 XP, which will make every unit last a bit longer, pretty resilient, boost their attack. Basically the battle will last a lot longer because of the scale compared to 15k CWB, generally speaking, and the upgrades will make the unit more resilient, making the battles last a bit longer. Bit of a stalemate here, both sides idle, waiting for the other one to make the first move. He should actually be pushing these HA first forward on each flank, shooting up the Praetorian cav, expensive unit, easy to take out. Not as armoured as the cataphract, and horses have less defence than the infantry. Can easily get some back shots here or side shots, doesn't have to worry too much about the archers with the Cantabrian circle. Just has to worry about the stamina so they don't get caught. Push his own archers forward first here to take out those archers. Might actually struggle against Rome armies because Rome has slightly superior heavy cavalry, probably slightly superior infantry considering he's got the urbans amongst those. He's got the sheer number of the legionary cohort with armor piercing, peeler. Needs to spread his line a little bit thinner there if he wants to engage in that archer battle most effectively. Take as few casualties as possible. Got a bit of stacking there, which will make him a little more vulnerable. It's the HA firing there as well, which is giving him allowing him to win the archer battle. I think he concentrated his fire on that archer auxiliary and roams the right flank. Needs definitely one or two shooting up the cav. Once the cav get close, they're going to be a threat. If you can take out the numbers before they get there, then obviously Rome's army is going to be diminished in strength, or certainly the cavalry component. Some uncanny revealed there as well. Won't be very effective unless he goes in for a flank attack or rear attack while the unit's already diminished. Definitely needs to be taking out those Praetorian cav with ranged attack. I think if he doesn't do something to screen the Pila, his front Armenian infantry are going to get wiped out once they get into range. Fair bit of ranged attack from the Legionnaire to deal with. Pretty much every unit except the Triarii. HA should lose to the Praetorian Cav 1-for-1 once they engage. Maybe even be effective to use one of those pikes as a counter cavalry force once the battle starts. Withdraw it from the main line and keep it in reserve. So it looks like he's got 5 Urban Cohort, 3 Legionary Cohort and 3 Triarii. He's going to try and flank here. I don't think he really needs to. I think 1-for-1 head on he's going to cut through that main line, especially if he unloads all Pila before engagement. Really only needs to defend his flanks then, which should be easier with superior melee cav and Terraria. So now he might start tugging those Praetorian cav. Best chance here with their back turned. He should be concentrating his fire on one, killing them off really quickly. Maybe take out 50% of his Praetorian cav there. Just to see if he throws Peeler. He hasn't thrown Peeler, he's just charged straight in, which has prevented his opponent from throwing, but he would have won that Peeler battle. Vast superior numbers there. Lose that contest on the Armenian side. He's blocked off there. What you can actually do is withdraw one of these units and set it to fire at will, and we'll throw up the back ones rather than it stacking here and not getting in the fight. And the Peeler is going to take out those Armenian infantry as predicted. Basically he needs those in the loose, so he needs to charge or put his Armenian in the front line to exchange Peeler in loose formation. Got a little bit of a flank there on Rome. So you see how much longer the units last compared to 15k. Makes the game a little bit more strategic in the sense it slows it down, makes it less micro dependent. But obviously there are people who believe it's grossly imbalanced because of the faction imbalances with the cash. So it's a trade-off between those two, I guess. Definitely does slow down the game though. Right there for the HA, not designed for melee conflict. Plus they've been surrounded here. Cataphracts would have fared better there. He's got the number advantage here, but he's got one unit in reserve which he can send in if they lose this flank. Plus he's got one here he could be sending in if he wanted to, just put it around the back here. He's still going to win that contest, I think. Strong push there on Rome's right flank. Should start a chain rout in a second, mass rout. There goes the general, there goes the army's morale. Good game. Good game.